Stress and blue crystal meth. Welcome, it's Rob here, and today I want to talk about what they call the silent killer, stress. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because I've experienced it within my life. I've seen clients experiencing it within their lives, and it was also something that was going on when I had the fitness facility in my clients' lives back then. It was dramatically affecting the results that they were getting. But before we get into the Heisenberg Breaking Bad methodology behind this, so we can put it into simplistic terms, I do want to talk about two branches of your nervous system. One of them is your sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight. It's where you are always constantly on the go. And the other one is the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest. So it's all about obviously resting and recovering. Now, the one that I want to concentrate on right now is the sympathetic nervous system. The reason why I want to concentrate on that is because that's where a lot of the problems are occurring. It's not a bad thing. It can help you when you're in danger, get out of the way of a moving bus, all of those kind of things. Your sympathetic nervous system is great in handling those kind of things. But what happens is when it's raised to potent levels, then it can cause a lot of problems. And that's what's happening within a lot of people's lives. They are constantly stressed. They are constantly worried. They are constantly angry. These are the things that I've heard. Pissed off, frustrated, stressed. And then, on top of that, they've got everything in their outside world to deal with as well. Like, as humans, we have evolved, but we haven't evolved as much as the things that are happening around us. So if you think about technology, fantastic stuff, but we are bombarded with constant stresses, phones, what's going on Facebook, emails, Snapchat, WhatsApp. Then we have mortgages to worry about, we have kids to worry about, we have all of these things that we are worrying about within our daily lives. On top of that, some of us have got overactive imaginations. Our minds are wandering, and wherever our minds are wandering, if it's constantly negative and stressful, then we are spending enormous amounts of time in that sympathetic nervous system, which is all about fight or flight. Now, let's bring it back to the Breaking Bad methodology, right? So if you think about Heisenberg when he was cooking the blue crystal meth, essentially that's what's going on here, but it's not blue crystal meth that he is cooking. All right, the brain is releasing high amounts of cortisol and adrenaline, and like I said, if it's excessive, it can become very toxic. Then what Heisenberg does is he hands this over to he distributes it to Jesse, who is the pituitary gland. Then what Jesse does is he then sells it on to his idiot sidekick, which is the adrenal gland. Then what happens is they then sell it to the street dealers, which is every organ in your body. And then they then go on to sell it to the street kids, which is every blood vessel within your body. So hopefully that simplifies what's going on here with regards to adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline raised at high amounts. So if I go back a couple of years ago, I had an anxiety attack. At that moment in time, I am in my sympathetic nervous system. So there is high amounts of adrenaline and cortisol being released into my body. This is why people weren't getting the results down at the boot camp. This is why with high amounts of cortisol, it causes things like belly fat. It can also damage the hippocampus, which is a part of the brain which is involved in memory. So people have really kind of short-term memories because their high amounts of stress that they are under is releasing high amounts of adrenaline and cortisol, which is then damaging the hippocampus, which is then resulting in memory loss. But if I go back to the camp, they were always on the go, and I understand how busy life can be. But when you aren't resting and digesting, you are no longer recovering. And this is why people were showing up with the same injuries over and over again. because they were spending so much time in the sympathetic nervous system that it didn't matter how much great food they were eating, organic, whatever it is, they weren't actually getting the nutrients from that food that they needed because they were eating on the go. They were always busy. So therefore what was happening was they were never recovering. So the same injuries were showing up time and time again. And like I said, cortisol also results in excess body fat, especially around the belly. So again, I just wanted to put this out there and just help you understand a little bit about what is going on within maybe your life right now. You may be wondering why you aren't getting results. You may be wondering why things are happening. Have a look, check in, see if you are spending enormous amounts of time in that sympathetic nervous system, especially with an overactive mind, overactive imagination. Then you've got all of your stresses, all of your worries on top of things. Have a look and check in and see if that's what's going on for you. So I hope this video has helped. I hope that you've enjoyed it. This is Rob. Peace out. Bye-bye.